What high school conspiracy turned out to be true at your school? We had a teacher in his 30s who was rumored to ask pretty graduating seniors to hang out in the last week of school, so technically he wasn't sleeping with students. Welp, he asked the wrong girl, and she told everyone. There was a chemistry teacher at my high school who was blinking the pretty senior girls, in some cases literally only hours after they received their diploma. Good for that girl. One of my geography teachers did a sex tape with his wife. He played Rocketman. Did it last a long time? Did his rocket go off? Dance, theater, and music teacher had illegal boxing fights on the weekend. Like hosted them or participated? Rule 1 about Fight Club. There was this weird closet built into the middle of the hallway, yep, the middle, so you had to walk around a giant block of a closet, but the door was always locked. Every morning before the bell rang, we'd meet up by the closet block, because it was close to our lockers. The rumor was that it was full of mold, because our school was underfunded and gross, but I figured it was just janitorial supplies. I had never seen a janitor go in there, but why would they leave a closet full of mold? Plus, there was already a room that was full of mold. The old boiler room, which was underground and hadn't been used in decades. Then one day, the door was unlocked. Mold. So much mold. Multiple stacks of German textbooks were rotting inside this closet. The pages were wavy and stuck together, and the whole thing was covered in black spots with a white dust on top. The closer you got to the bottom of the stack, the more uniform the books became. They had literally melted together and dried, Lord knows how many times. I simply closed the door and said, well guys, I guess this is why we only have Spanish as our foreign language. TLDR, weird closet full of mold that was dealt with by being locked all the time. The funniest part of this is that you concluded it couldn't be a mold closet because you already had a mold closet. What if we kissed in the mold closet and developed sis? That our high school had an extensive network of underground tunnels and shelters left over from WWII. Sure enough, not long after I graduated, they were renovating one of the weight rooms that was either at basement level or partially underground, and they found an entire wild-off room stocked with supplies from the early Cold War era that no one had remembered. So maybe the supposed tunnel system under the football field was a bit of a stretch, but there definitely were hidden shelters to room areas that had been forgotten about. Edit: the bomb shelter they found while renovating had supplies from the early Cold War era, not specifically WWII. But the conspiracy rumors had been pretty dang close. But everyone knows you need an underground tunnel for the opposing team to flee to the Holiday Inn. Philly fans love hammering people. That's pretty neat. Any idea what sort of supplies they found? Our physics teacher ended up spending time in prison for having sex with one of the girls on the volleyball team he coached. She got therapy in college and the therapist was required to report, since the teacher was still in a position to abuse. There's been a bunch of these kinda stories with a shockingly low amount ending and these pedorapists getting jail time. There was a rumor at my school that the art teacher was screwing one of his students. None of us actually saw them interact, so I don't know where the rumor came from exactly. Anyway, the second she turned 18 and left school, he divorced and left his wife of 15 years with their 3 kids to be with her. As far as I'm aware, they are still together and have had a couple of kids of their own. It's crazy how he was never prosecuted and actually still has his teaching license. 2 of the teachers hooking up on a Europe class trip. Gone for a week. Came back and the rumors started. 2 weeks later a rumor started he got divorced. Last week of school they were spotted at a restaurant together. Looked them up a couple years after graduating. They are married. Happy ending sort of. This happened at our school too. Lol. But after the Nook Tunnel story I thought it would be lame to mention. We had a student teacher, so a reasonably attractive guy who was about 22 or 23. The rumor was that he was dating a girl in our class, a senior who was nearly 18. It turned out the rumor was wrong. He was dating her younger sister who was in 8th grade. It turned out the rumor was wrong. Oh, thank God. He was dating her younger sister who was in 8th grade. Fucking hell. That's a twist. Due to budget cuts or something, all of our metal and wood workshop machines were to be taken away and replaced with worse versions. The shop teachers and drama teachers that were in the building at the time didn't like this idea, so they hid all the machines in a false wall somewhere in the building. The people came to pick them up, and they told them that people had already come to pick them up, and that they were late. They did some looking around, and couldn't find the machines and gave up. A few years and one principal later they brought the machines back out from behind the walls. And that's how the smallest high school of our district with only around 450 students became the best school in the district to learn metal and woodwork. Edit happened before my time at the school. This is just what I heard from the drama teachers lol. The Cask of a Montessori. This is an amazing story, man.